You okay? You went away again, but this time seemed different.
Another day, another chat with Samadra. Though this one seemed different. So, do we have a plan for Kostya once we find him? Finally! We found the gates! Quick, let's find Kostya!
Lava's high. Gotta hurry.
Good, you're here. Help me destroy this winch. We can't risk someone turning it and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. I figured you might have. Bloodthirsty. You people just can't help yourselves. Me, specifically? No. I only provided them access to material from the living archives. The books and records that the novice brought to them were what revealed the secret. I assume you didn't let the Steel Garrote or the Inquisitor survive their search. And so you brought it back here? Among the Wardens? It doesn't matter how it works. It was not present in the tusks until your people arrived. Oh, perhaps this is right. Another reason to destroy this place and go. This is how it should be. So long as the keep stands, my people are trapped here. Doomed by an oath to a dead man.
No one should be bound to a pile of stones. Certainly not because of a centuries-old oath.
Our people were nomads for ages until we built the keep. When it falls, we'll be free to explore the world again. I will not watch my people rot here for the sake of a pointless oath. Then my conviction only grows stronger, envoy. Nandru never wanted what was best for us. He built us a tomb and abandoned us to it. Do not speak his name to me as if it could mean anything to you.
A life for rubble, blood for the prison of old ways. We twine.
Envoy, I understand that Kostya grates on the nerves, but perhaps we should...
So be it. And you are so close. The entrance to the garden is just beyond this door. I always knew it would come to this.
You asked for it!
Take work and roll! And roll!
What?
Just as good. Easy! And roll! Give me a second. Seek! And roll! Good fight.
That's that.
Did the keep look as confining before?
It's a magnificent keep. I just hope it doesn't become their prison.
Closer. We have waited so long.
I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace Keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Pargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Exactly.
The Pargrunen have always had the choice to leave, and we've seen very few take it, dear.
If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now. You're right. There's no use in second-guessing it.
True. And you've a date with the gods soon. We can only hope that you'll make better decisions.
And that's not all. Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fjord, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
Who knew an archmage could be so relatable?
can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
That's the spirit. And funny you should mention it. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? For once, I'm all out of ideas. Anyone else?
I'm a soldier. I prefer leaving these decisions to people like you, but if you're asking for input, I don't entirely disagree with Ludwig on this. She may be a monster, but she's not the only one the Living Lands has seen. Sapadal could render this whole island as barren as the tusks in a fit of anger.
Sapadal caused the Dream Scourge. All of this pain. I don't think I can forgive that.
Think of what we could learn from Sapadal. Perhaps there's a way we can keep everyone alive.
Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the Living Lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Just one. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
Fair weather or foul?
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the Living Lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the Living Lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. And only one chance to get it right. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. When you say it, I can almost believe it. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Who could rest at a time like this? I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like a dungeon, except the wardens were the prisoners. You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep, but you left it standing. Why? I agree. A decision like this belongs to the community, not the ambitions of one man. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Then it's a good thing you're here. Better late than never. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting. Pleasant dreams. Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement? Oh. I take it that wasn't what you expected. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands. What happened to Nandru was ages ago. Plenty of time to reconsider one's choices. No one is closer to Sapodal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts. A caged animal lashes out at friend and foe alike. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Sapodal, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands. You too. Does anyone have a copy of the Theorems of Pangram? I want to try something.
I wish I could help, sweetheart. But the only copy I know of was lost somewhere in the Deerwood.
Too bad. I've been looking into necromancy, just in case. the envoy drops dead again.
You don't think Avowed will work their tricks?
Looks like we'll have to find another way through.
Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
I think we've found Sapadal's home. Here. Oh, what did we miss?
You'll see. aye.
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Don't look down.
Walk like it's hard. Faster.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. You make it sound like we have a ticking bomb under our feet. And judging from Sapadal's outbursts at Mount Forja and Naku Kubel, you're probably not far off. There are a few provocations away from disaster. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Aedyran comrades and the locals. And some days you wake up and the deck of your ship's covered in bird shit. You can clean it up or you can step in it. That's the choice. The Steel Garrote leveled fewer. Even if Animancers aren't the most popular bunch, everyone gets nervous when fields burn. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise Animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. It doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. I don't think anyone else is going to understand the indirectly. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Aedyr's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. I lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
You know, I was perfectly fine assuming this place was a legend. Now it's too blessed real. Good. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I didn't want to lose my swill in front of Animancy Queen and the Fishman. I've never been comfortable with things I can't explain. If there isn't a poultice for it, I don't want it. I'd rather just grit my teeth and push through this whole thing. I'm completely out of my depth. Right. I've survived this long by avoiding creepy magic stuff that gives me the vrikas. Don't worry about me, Envoy. I know why we're here. And I told you I'd guide you wherever you wanted to go. Even places like this. Well, somehow I don't believe you. I imagine there are some slumbering gods we could visit on one of the moons. Now, can we talk about something less fuzzy? I'm getting a headache. Anyway. Pleasant dreams.
knowledgeable are you about boat maintenance?
I know enough to patch a hull.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. A debt of knowledge. We concede. The seabed speaks in riddles, a pearl whose shell we cannot grasp. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We feel nothing amiss. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. We know this voice, this presence, sneering at us through our prison bars.
I culled your rot from this land before. I will do it again. And is. You carve lands into petty fiefdoms, but we are the gods of all Eora. The usurper has confused you. Allow me to make things clear.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special? With your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. Who else would have the strength?
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Work that sullies one hand meets out justice with the next. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. You were better for it. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. A regrettable consequence of a necessary war. History followed the course of law because I ensured it.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Aedyr is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. Then they will keep applying the rod until it understands. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Wodika's appeal. Still don't.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
Let's see what you got.
It's easy when you do it.
And roll. See.
This will hurt.
See. Make worth and roll. Make worth and roll. EOC.
Over here!
EOC. Make worth and roll.
Right behind you.
Seek.
Who's ready for more?
I liked them better when they were dead.
Eckworth and Roth! Seek!
Come and get me!
Enjoy the pain, dear.
Up 10! Beyond seek! Eckworth and Roth!
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? Gods. I can't. What's happening here?
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. I can't be certain of that. I know that I am here, and for a purpose.
Iancu. Viate. I left you behind when I left Solace.
And I've found you once again, old friend.
You? No. What kind of blessed brain scramble is this?
Please, Viate. This is where you need to be right now.
I remember this. Dukte Dragu if you think... No, I don't want this. Right. Okay, I can do this. Let's get into it.
You know where we are. This is my memory. when everyone died and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
Oh, not much. I only remember fear and sadness. And you as a kid picking me up and taking me to solace. This is... I remember it, but I don't. I can't do this. I can't.
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I can't do this, Iancu. I forgot this for a reason.
And that's why you're here, Nimdut. You can't face a god with piles of Saka in your soul. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
You kept everything a secret from me. All that time. A best friend doesn't do that. Protect me from what? You handled it just fine.
Did I? Look at me. Name a single day when those memories didn't hold me back. I was afraid every day. I needed you to ground me.
I never realized what you were dealing with. Gods, I'm sorry, Viate. So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. I don't know. I can't. It's too much. Not this and everything else too. It's too blessed much.
I understand that, Viate. I really do. I'm glad to hear it. Marius is worth the effort, I promise you.
Don't listen to him, Envoy. If he knew anything at all, he wouldn't be dead.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
And saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
Talk to us, Marius. We've been talking in hell.
Well, obviously...
Really strange. You lose, and you carry around a little hole inside yourself till you die. Or maybe the same is true for the dead. Your friend obviously loved you.
How did we get on this topic? I thought we were talking about pancakes.
You insist!
Hey, what about that one? worth and wrong! Ten! Seek!
This will hurt!
Take worth and wrong!
Nothing like a win with a good team. Coming in hot.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. Peace? Right. Tell me about peace when your dead best friend starts talking to you about your absolute worst memory. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. I guess not, huh? You probably never expected to die and come right back either. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I think maybe this is all for the best. No matter what happens. Maybe all of this will be worth it. Well, we have a lot to do, Envoy. Maybe we should get to it.
You must have some good story. He's right.
Uh-huh. And,